This track very, very treacherous for these guys right now. As Matthew Taylor now comes into the pit lane. This penalty may not have been cleared by the admins. I'm not sure why. Zachary Beekman spun it into the pit lane too.
Who threw that banana?
Foul. Matthew Taylor is in his pit box. So he may not have been cleared. But I believe he got into his box before the yellow. So
take a few.
Still may getting served here.
I want to at least see where my stuff is at.
Yeah, the track seems very, very difficult to drive on right now. Hell, letting the pace car by. I think Matthew Taylor had to wait for the pit exit to open. So we're only on lap 20. The stage is not even over yet. Already been 2 yellows. Just due to the cars spinning, the track seems very, very slick right now. Drivers are having a hard time finding grip. As the lights in the pace car are now off. Junior now coming out. Matthew Taylor also back on track. Cobbs is still on the lead lap. Have to catch the field quick to get back into this one. Looks like Andrew Tennell now is going to lead on the inside line. Brian White to his outside. Talked about him much tonight either, but Ben Bowman in the 62, he's up to 6th as the pace car is now off. 30, Dobbs just catches back up to the field. Flag is back out. Andrew Tennell storms to the lead over a car length now over Brian White. He gets to turn 1. Jonathan Dolly pitched Brian Tennell tight to the inside. He had to let off a bit there, and now he's getting passed up by everybody. Side by side. Well, except for Jason Thomas now looking to the inside of Brian White. Brian White got a little loose there. He wobbled, but he caught it. But that's Jason Thomas now up in the third. In that number 8 Mountain Dew machine. Now looking to the inside of Jonathan Dolly. Was not quite able to get there. Dolly closed the door. Brian Temple and Brian White are racing for P5 at the moment. Looks like Brian White's going to clear him. 30 at Cobbs. Maybe he got loose again. He's gathered it back up and he's going again. The 8 of Jason Thomas now looking to the inside of the 74 of Jonathan Dolly. They are door to door right now. No contact yet. Jason Thomas, he's still there on the inside. Dolly trying to fight back on the outside. What has he got for him? Jonathan Dolly is able to keep alongside. Jason Thomas still there on his inside going into 3. Looks like the 74, he got loose. He wobbled again. Jason Thomas gets by another one. That's Jason Thomas up into P2. Jason Thomas has slowly been taking down each BDRC driver one by one. And now he's getting to the back of that 51 of 10. Let's see if he's got anything for him.
What the freak is this?
That 8 is showing some really good speed today. Gets the run on 10 on exit there. I think he may have had to let out just a bit early in order not to give a shove to the nose of the 51. But see, the 8's got the speed. He just needs the timing to be able to get a good run. There it goes. He's looking on the outside now. The 8, Jason Thomas, looking to take the lead from the 51 at 10, and the yellow's out. But Thomas, I think he got the lead. It's the 19 of Zachary Beekman that spun. Looks like maybe the 19, no contact yet, but he just gets loose right in front of the 18 of Brian White. Does not look like there was any contact. He just lost it. That's going to bring out your yellow. Looks like Andrew Tenold somehow managed to keep the lead, but you could see there Jason Thomas almost had him there right as the yellow came out. You know, Jason's going to be wishing that they just waited an extra second to throw that yellow, but he does have the speed. He will be on the front row of this next restart. I believe some guys may come down and put tires on now. Only going to be a few laps left in the stage when they go green. May try to just flip the stage here. The 30 of Cobbs is thinking to do that. So is the 19 of Beekman. And the 62 of Bowman, he's in. Matthew Taylor going to take the lucky dog, get one of his laps back. He'll be back in this one soon enough. We got another stage as well, which he should likely beat the lucky dog for that one as well. And he'll be back on the lead lap. Not out of this one yet. also coming in to take tires and fuel at Lucky Dog. Why not? Free pit stop as well as getting a lap back. Either way, you're starting from the tail end of the field, so while you're there, you might as well. Ben Bowman actually a lap down now too, but I don't believe Matthew Taylor should have a problem getting by him, as he's still fairly new to the iRacing service. But good to see him out here clocking some laps, gaining the experience. We are now should take the inside as we've leaders doing all along. Yep, the lights on the pace car are out. There goes Jason Thomas and Brian White. Take the outside line along with Zachary Beekman. Take a quick look here at the race info. 84 degrees at Las Vegas today, making the track temp of 94 Fahrenheit. Pretty hot one today, which is why we might be seeing these cars slipping and sliding around at this 1.5 mile oval. It is partly cloudy, so that may help temperatures a bit from getting a lot too much higher. But that sun beaming down at the track and that temperature, it's going to make for a hot one today. Our leader, Andrew Reynolds, out of Sioux City, Iowa. He's the leader now. Pace car comes off now. We're getting ready to go green again. '51 launches off the start-finish line now. That's Tenold into the lead. Jonathan Dolly got a good jump too on the inside. He's alongside Jason Thomas. He's going to get clear of him. But we saw what happens once that 8 car gets fired off and going. He's got some real speed in that thing, so we'll see if that lasts for long. Just about 6 more laps left in the stage this time by. I believe 5 laps actually this time by. As Tenold's going to lead us back to the start-finish line. As you see, the 8 car still's got some real speed there. He was able to get by Dolly before he got under Dolly and just tried to force a mistake. But that 19 of Zachary Beekman wants to get involved. He's looking now to the inside of that 8. 74 is loose again, though. He just got loose in front of the 19. 74 is going to catch it and hang on to it. We're going to stay green. As Jason Thomas is now up into P2. Jason Thomas now. Oh, Jason Thomas, though, to the outside of the 51 at Tenold. Tenold's going to get back by. Tina Beekman now looking to the inside. Jason Thomas going to be able to get that thing wound back up. He is. Jason Thomas maybe giving the bumper a little bit to the 51. Just letting him know he's there. 51 and the 19 now side by side. Zachary Beekman now looking to take the lead. Now on lap 36. Pits should be closed now. 51 and 19 are racing it hard. You can see they're just trying not to lose control. While the 8 is just waiting for somebody to make a mistake. Yellow's out, though. I believe that's the 62 of Benjamin Bowman who crashed it. That should be the end of the stage here. Yep, 62. Got loose and slides right back up into the outside wall. Ouch. And that is going to be heavy damage for the 62 of Bowman. gonna have to bring it back into pits to get that damage repaired. Use his fast repair there. That is the end of the stage, though. So your stage winner is going to be Andrew Tenold. You have Zachary Beekman in P2, Jason Thomas in P3, Brian Tenold P4, Brian White P5, Jonathan Dolly P6, Juan Cobbs Jr. in P7, Matthew Taylor will be P8, and your lucky dog, he'll be getting back onto the lead lap this time. P9 will go to Benjamin Bowman. And there is no P10 this week as Barry Tollison Jr. did not start the race. We got two cars that stayed out here, the 19 of Beekman and the 30 of Cobbs. They flipped the stage on that last yellow. They came down and took tires and fuel, and they're going to try and get a jump on the rest of the field. Really interesting to think about. We have the sim date set to October 2nd of this year, which is the same date that the real life ARCA series will be running here at Vegas, and it is still, as we just talked about a little bit ago, it is still 84 degrees here in Las Vegas, with the track temperature being at 94 degrees Fahrenheit, which in my opinion, in October is just awful. 84 degrees in October does not sound fun, and I feel terrible for these guys because you'd think coming to a track at a in the middle of the fall, you'd get a little bit cooler weather and get more drivable track, but the iRacing Generation said that it's going to be 84 degrees out here in October, and the track has been very slick for these guys. Not a whole lot of grip. They've been getting loose and very squirrely all night long. So, we'll see how that continues into stage 2 as the rubber is starting to build up. See a bunch of rubber on the track here. Hopefully it'll help these guys a little bit. Now ready to begin stage 2. The pace car is now off the track there. And Zachary Beekman, your leader, will take the green flag now in the start zone. He gets going. There he is into the lead. The 8 of Jason Thomas trying to stay alongside the inside of the 30 of Cobbs. Andrew Tenold maybe looking to make it 3 wide. Cobbs gives him the room. He's there. They're 3 wide. And oh no! Big wreck. And you almost saw that one coming. Take a look at what just happened. We'll go into the chase cam here, and we'll ride along with Andrew Tenold. I don't know.
Hey, 74, how bad is it?
3 wide. I don't think Jason came up into him. It was just... Man.
Alright, thanks.
That felt like just incidental That looks like from here at least just some incidental contact. I mean, Tennant's there. They're 3 wide. Maybe shouldn't have put it 3 wide right off of the restart. I can understand why. Trying to get the position. It's you're fighting for the championship here, and just ends up getting turned around because of it. Unfortunate for Thomas. It doesn't look like he's got heavy damage, but again, it might not be what he feels in the car. If you take a look now, he definitely has toe damage here. See the way he's holding the wheel. Has to hold it at about a 45-degree angle to the right just to keep the car straight. That's going to be very tricky to drive with at a track like this. He might just end up taking the faster pair. Unfortunate for him. You hate to see it. He's actually stopping the car. And now he pulls it into his box, maybe having an issue there. Andrew Tennell also into some damage repaired. 8 of Jason Thomas is out. Looks like he took his fast repair. Car driving straight again, so going to be the fast repair taken for the 8 car. Could have expected to do. Is still on the lead lap, so he'll stay in this race. Tennell probably elected to take the long way and not use his fast repair yet. We'll see if that works out for him. The admins are going to have plenty to review tomorrow night at the weekly race review. Now finally coming to the green flag again. Zachary Beekman again blinking out a little bit. Is hoping that it's a little dicey there. Hoping it doesn't affect anybody's race, and hoping he accidentally turn someone because of it. Pace car's coming off. Zachary Beekman lead us to green again. He blinked again there, and now we're green. Ryan Tennell gets a good jump there. Jason Thomas gets a good one as well. Inside line, pretty good there. It's Jason Thomas now by the 18 of Brian White. 51 of Andrew Tennell now looking at his inside on the exit of turn 2. So they're now 3 wide again. Brian Tennell on the outside. Jason Thomas backs out of it. Does not want to be caught in that scenario again. Realizes there's still over 100 laps to go. We are not willing to put our race at risk right now. Front now, Andrew Tennell looking for P2 from Jonathan Dolly. They get really close, maybe a little bit of dooring there. Tennell's going to let Dolly back through, but he's going to dive back down to the inside to turn 3. I think Jason Thomas knows he's got the speed, but he sees how aggressive these guys up front are being, and he's not willing to be that aggressive just yet. We have plenty of race to go. He's just hoping that he's not involved when these guys get together. Jason Thomas has the speed to keep up. He's just seems like hanging back, just waiting for these guys to. He thinks inevitably we'll get into an incident. He wants to stay close enough to be in the fight if he needs to get into the fight, but far enough away to where he can react to any wrecks that may happen in front of him. Sun kind of getting blocked down here in turn 3 and 4. Not sure if it's a cloud or if it's the sun falling below the track. It seems to be a cloud, maybe. There's a little bit of sunlight in the backstretch. Good for these drivers. That should help the track cool down a little bit and give the cars a little bit more grip. Jason Thomas goes to the inside of Zachary Beekman and Brian Tennell looking to get the move done. Able to get by them as they're able to get back around on the outside line. Again, not willing to force the 3 wide. Probably the safer option right now, as all these guys are pretty close together. Jonathan Dolly almost hooked the 51. Not sure how he didn't get spun there. Able to keep it straight. Jason Thomas may have gotten loose at some point. He's a little bit behind now. Brian Tennell will get passed by the 18 of Brian White. Oh, the 74 gets loose and he's spinning into the 19. Caution's out. Dolly's able to get it off track and out of everyone's way. See who comes into pit this time. 51 to Tennell, Brian White. Brian Tennell's going to stay out. Zach Beekman's going to stay out. Looks like everyone else comes in. Benjamin Bowman stays out. He's the lucky dog, I believe. He wants to get his lap back. Wankov Jr. also stays out. to be good for Bowman as he gets one of his laps back. Now only one lap down. Matthew Taylor going to be the first one off pit road. Andrew Tenold comes right behind him, and then there is Jonathan Dolly, Jason Thomas, and Brian White. That order. Now coming to 1 to green this time. Our leader is Brian Tenold with Zachary Beekman in 2. Looks like Matthew Taylor back down pit road. Going to put himself into the back of the field, possibly to top off on fuel. Top off fuel there for the 9 of Matthew Taylor. That's going to make Brian Tenold. Not going to make him the leader. He was already the leader, but going green this time. Tenold's going to take the outside on the restart. We've not seen this done yet. Here, we'll see how this restart goes. The pace car's off. Gave him plenty of room there. Brian Tenold's going to be clear of Beekman there on the start. Andrew Tenold looking to the outside. Looks like they're going to be looking 3 wide at turn 1. Not quite. They're going to back it out 2 by 2 here. Looks like everyone's going to make it through turns 1 and 2 clean. Everyone's going to start to try and fall in line now. Andrew Tenold now looking to the outside of Zach Beekman. He's going to get by him. That's going to be Tenold up now into P2. Now looking to make a move on his father in the 54. But Beekman's not done yet. He dives down to the inside. Not quite going to be able to make it stick, though. Now Brian White's to his outside. And he's blinking again. Now Andrew Tenold to the inside of the 54. Brian Tenold to the lead. Brian Tenold had a very, very strange arc out of the corner there. Scrapes the wall a little bit. Gets that 18, that 19 out of shape. They're all going to keep it straight for now. That's Andrew Tenold back into the lead with the 74 of Dolly behind him. Take a look at the race info right now. If the track's cooled down at all, it does not seem to cool down very much. We'll see what the drivers think. They're 3 wide behind for third. Looks like Brian White is going to get by the 19 of Beekman and just about edge the 54 out at the line. We'll see if he can keep it going through turns 1 and 2 here. Looks like he's going to get it to 54. A little slow on entry there. Brian White up to P3 now.
Shit.
Jonathan Dolly still in P2, chasing down that 51 of Tenold in P1. Now a battle for 4th between Beekman and Brian Tenold. While Jason Thomas and Cox Jr. battled out for 6th behind them. This Beekman Lost yet again. And Brian Tennell gets into the wall. He keeps it up there. 30th Cobb's almost getting tagged, able to get away, but he's going to lose out that spot now to Jason Thomas, who's now up to 5th. Brian White, 74 Dolly, challenging Tennell for the lead. They're side by side in the one, maybe touched a little bit. Yellow's out. That's the 30th Cobb's. Look at what happened here. He's running. He tags the wall out of 4. It gets sent into the grass. And he's got to lock it up. Looks like that was what caused the yellow to come back out. Seems like Tennell liked his car at Darlington so much, he decided to keep the throwback on. Still in that Rowdy Burns scheme. He faked pit road entry. He's not going in. But the 54 of Brian Tennell, he's in. The 9 of Matthew Taylor is in, and so is the 30 of Cobbs Jr. Benjamin Bowman, I believe, is now back on the lead lap. This time he will be the lucky dog, as he's now back onto the lead lap. Oh, give sped coming into pit lane there for Bowman. They'll just put him in the back of the field, which he already will be. So should he? Again, we did receive sponsorship this season from Black Dirt Racing Co. Who have paid for the SDK membership for the season are the ones allowing us to bring you a broadcast every week. We appreciate them, and check out their website at blackdirtracingco.net. See everything you know about them, learn the drivers, learn about the team, and great. now at the halfway mark of the race. Cobb's staying out. He's a lap down. He's not able to pit yet. He's actually being involved in that contact. I don't think it's going to give him a lucky dog. Unless the admins gave it to him anyway. They did. He's still going to get his lap back. I'm sure he's happy about, but also not happy to come out of that with the amount of damage he has. Take a look. Let's see. Yeah, but definitely some toe damage there for the 30. He's going to hopefully be able to use his fast repair if he hasn't yet. See if he's got it. Doesn't look like he does, unfortunately. He is going to have to take the damage repair manually. Not good for him, as he's probably going to lose another lap. He's going to have to just hope that the yellows as the night goes on. He's able to get his laps back. Benjamin Bowman, he's still on track, 2 laps down. As Cobbs comes out, try and keep himself only 1 lap down. He's still got heavy toe damage, as you can see from that steering wheel. He's gonna hope for a quick yellow. They come back in and get that damage repaired, as they are now 1 to green. That time, Pendleton, Thomas here. Thomas was faster on lap 72 and 73, almost 10th and a half on 72. But coming to lap 74 and 75, Tanold was just, lap 74, Tanold was just a little bit faster. But I think that's because the yellow came out. As you can see, there's about a 2-second difference between those lap times. So when they were running green, Jason Thomas was actually quicker by just a little bit. So we'll see how that goes here on the restart as Tenold getting ready to take the green. He goes at the very end of the restart box. Jonathan Dolly now alongside the 8 of Jason Thomas. See, Jason Thomas is able to fend him off the P2. He does get to the preferred line on the inside. Dolly tries to pinch him down there, but Jason Thomas is able to stay alongside. They door just a little bit. They door again, and Thomas gets loose. Jason Thomas is probably very upset in that number 8 right now, as he's been kind of ping-ponged around by some of those BDRC guys. He's not very happy the way they've been driving him tonight. He's had the speed. He hasn't had a chance to show anybody what he can do with it. And all that contact going on. It's 62 of Bowman. Really, really struggling to drive the car right now. Now Matthew Taylor is in the fight for the lead now as he's to the inside of the 19. Thinking about a look to the inside of the 51. The 19 was thinking about 3 wide, didn't want to risk it. They're still going to be side by side now. Taylor is now to the inside of Tenold. Very close racing here up front. But Jason Thomas just trying to catch back up to the pack. He's got speed, so he may be able to do it. They're now 3 wide for the lead. Beekman to the outside. Beekman's your new leader. Matthew Taylor and Andrew Tenold still side by side for P2, but Matthew Taylor is going to clear Tenold now. Tenold now down to 3rd. Beekman blinking like that. It's very, very scary. Okay. The 9 of Taylor is now to the outside of Beekman for the lead. Beekman, maybe a little loose on exit there. They're 3 wide for 3rd. Tenold's going to back out a little bit. Let them by. He's now down to 5th. Beekman still side by side with Matthew Taylor for the lead. Matthew Taylor gets the run on the outside. Is he going to clear him? He is. Matthew Taylor, new leader.
30 staying low.
This lap, coming to lap 86 now. Starting to lap 85. Is this thing behind? Are we not? And Brian White's to his inside. That's the 30 of Cobbs right there. Stay to the bottom as the leaders go by. Finally, single file after 88 laps here at Vegas.
Was that a wreck?
Tricky one for these guys. We saw the track temperature 94 degrees, very, very hot. Beekman now looks to the inside of Matthew Taylor, but he gets loose and he spins it into the pit lane. Beekman hard into the pit lane wall.
Yeah, he spun into pit road.
Yellow's not out. We're going to stay green. Not sure why it didn't come out there, but Beekman is, I mean, he's an admin, but, you know, I know these admins, they don't want to call yellows for their own wrecks. So maybe telling Brian, oh, Jonathan Dolly spun it. Yellow's out. Now the yellow's out. Let's go back and take a look at this one. Oh, looks like Dolly looks to the inside of Tenold here through 4. Just gets, looks like the air pushes him a little loose and he spins it and just gets to the outside wall there. Not too heavy damage from the the looks of it, but again, only Dolly would know. Cockpit. Looks like the wheel is pretty straight for him. So maybe some slight nose damage. Did I see that correctly? I'm sorry. I lost my focus on what was going on for a moment. I thought I saw Dolly was going to go in, and then he hits the commitment line, but on iRacing, that's not the actual commitment line. So he stays out. Yeah. A little bit of trickery from Dolly. He fooled me. I thought he was in pit lane. I looked down at my phone for a moment, and I looked back up, and he's not in pit lane. So threw me off there for a moment. We still got 60 laps to go. We are past the halfway point. This race is still far from over. It's still anybody's game. You've seen all the BDRC guys have been really fast. Jason Thomas has been pretty quick. Matthew Taylor's been quick. Out of all these guys, it could still be any one of them. Andrew Tenwold has been very, very fast here. But as you've seen, Matthew Taylor was able to get by him at one point. He did fall back to fifth for a moment. Jason Thomas is giving him a run for his money. All the other BDRC drivers have as well. So we'll see. Zachary Beekman now down 2 laps. Going to be really hard to come back from, as well as Cobbs Jr. down 3 laps. Now that there's a few drivers that are laps down, be a little difficult to come back from, but we'll see what they're able to do here. Likes to take the high side again on the restart. Got Matthew Taylor behind him, Brian White on the inside with Dolly behind him. All 4 chase drivers, first 3 rows. With Beekman being the breaker there, Cobbs Jr., the next playoff driver, down in 9th. As the pace car's off, we're getting ready to go racing here. Pennell gets the jump, he's going. Going to be able to get by Brian White here on the start. Turn 1. Matthew Taylor going to hold it around the outside of Dolly. Try and get that 3rd place spot. He's going to actually end up tucking it behind Jason Thomas. Brings it up to 5th place position. Excuse me, hiccups. 5th place position. Brian Tennell now looking to his outside. 3 wide in. Getting the wall and door a little bit. Beekman's down there. Tennell's right there. He's in a sandwich. Able to keep it straight. That was scary. He's loose now. He's loose. Gets it straightened out. Oh, man. 62 Bowman now is a lot of things happening right now. I'm not even sure where to look. It's a hornet's nest right now. slow. 74 is going to get by him. Inside of the 18, he's going to get by him. They're side by side. Brian Tennell's going to leave that lap. So, been up front for most of this race, but they burned his tires off a little early into the run. Take a look at the pit strategy. It's been really hard to keep up with the stints everyone's been on. As you can see, a lot of pit stops tonight, a lot of yellows. Brian Tennell is on fresher tires than Andrew. Andrew's been on these tires the last 44 laps, and so is Jonathan Dolly. Very, very long stint on those tires, and they probably are now starting to struggle for grip. As you see, they got close. Tennell got a little loose there, able to keep it straight, but yeah, Brian Tennell only on 9-lap old tires. Same with Jason Thomas, I believe, only on 8-lap old tires. He's on fresh tires in the field as well. You're gonna probably see the 51 and the 74 struggling a little bit now. Is they may have to make green flag stops soon. As I believe there's only 50 laps of fuel. Getting close to the end of what their cars are going to be able to go. This could be their final stop as well, as there will be enough fuel to make it to the end for that. The real question is tires. For the whole 50 laps, the way the track has been tonight, I'm not sure I'd be confident bringing a set of tires that far. Although these guys already have done that, and they are running 2-3 right now. But you can see Brian Tennell significantly faster right now. Zachary Beekman, they're entering turn 3 as Brian Tennell starts to catch him. As long as they have laps, it's gonna have to be soon. They have a few extra laps because of cautions, but because they've been staying out this whole time, they cannot have that much fuel left. They're gonna be forced to make a stop here. Jonathan Dolly, a little off the pace now. He might be struggling with the tires. You see him bring it down here a couple of laps times. There he goes. He gets loose again on the exit 4. Andrew Tennell now, though, back into the lead. Brian Tennell maybe saving his stuff. Probably a few laps short of making it to the end. 14 laps in. Probably close to about 10 laps short, so he's probably going to have to stop again as well. Benjamin Bowman now into the pit lane for another stop for him. But kind of getting interesting here now to see the strategies you guys are going to have. Everybody's still going to have to stop at least. Temple and Dolly going to have to stop earlier in each run. They'll have more time on fresher tires to kind of close the gap as everyone comes around to make their pit stops. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what goes down here. As there it is, John and Dolly pulls the trigger. He's in the pit lane for his green flag stop. Probably gonna try to make it to the end from here. And Tennell we still see in the lead of this one. Just wondering when he's gonna bring it down. If Dolly's coming down now, Tennell can't be too far behind. Maybe coming in this time. We'll have to see. Oh, looks like he's going to go another one. Andrew Tennell's still out there. John and Dolly taking 4 tires right now. That's Matthew Taylor. He's in. His stint, let's take a look at how long his stint was. His stint was only 16 laps, but he sees them pitting. He does not want them to have the tire advantage at all. He's going in. Jason Thomas, he's going in as well. Going to cover off the tire strategy here. Andrew Tennell still on track. I don't know how much fuel he's been saving, but he's been on track 54 laps without a pit stop. Brian White, he's in the pit lane. This is very interesting. Saving here. Hobbs Jr. looking to apply for himself as Tennell pits. Inevitably, will get at least one of his laps back here. Just getting out of his box now. 14.7 second stop, a little bit of a long one. Still staying out. How much fuel does he have? No way he can make it to the end. We know that. Brian Tennell can't make it either. The rest of the field can. Tennell's really hoping for a yellow, I think, and I don't think he's going to get it. Every lap, he's astonishing to me. I don't know how he's got it. Now at 57 laps. I believe a full tank is about 15 and a half laps. Test session I ran earlier was correct. They do have 100% fuel tanks tonight. As there he is. He's finally going in. Andrew Tennell. Coming in a little hot. Did he get slowed down in time? I think he did. But now Brian Tennell's your leader. Everyone's going to get their lap back soon, I think. Well, no, if Brian Tennell stays out, they won't. Oh, I did see another guy. It was Benjamin Bowman. He's coming back down to Bowman. Brian Tennell did the same thing that Andrew did. Andrew was able to take that car 50 laps before having to stop. With Brian Tennell had been out already 24 laps. If he stayed out another 24, or sorry, 34, that would get him to lap 149. So if he hasn't had yellows to help him save fuel either, so I think that's going to be too tall of an order for the 54 to be able to pay to do. So I don't think he's going to be able to win this one on fuel strategy. Right now, Andrew Tennell is the net leader still, if that were the case. Matthew Taylor and Dolly right behind him. That's also Brian Tennell right in front of them, so they probably are going to be able to unlap themselves at some point here. They are catching back up to him. So this is your net leader. There's Brian Tennell there. He's going to just let him by. He looks like he's heavy saving right now. But, I mean, kind of all he can do right now, but he's going to have to do it for the whole rest of his stint, which I don't think he's just not going to have the on-track speed to be able to hold on to the lead. I think these guys, they can just pedal to the metal this thing. They're going to just be able to run them all the way back down. As I say that, Brian Tennell comes into the pit lane. I think he realized that he's not going to be able to make it. And flash of fuel, tires.
30 pin.
Sure, will have fresher tires than the field, but are going to be able to get by him here as they got their lap back pretty much just as he played. Here they come out of turn 4. They're going to. No. Yeah, now they're going to take the position away from him. There it is. That's Zachary Beekman coming out of pit lane. Flash down. Brian Tennell, here he comes out of pit lane. I don't know if he took tires. Did he take tires? Oh, he did. That was a really, really quick stop. He may be only taking a splash of fuel and maybe right sides. He's not down here, but he is almost half on the line. So unless he starts setting some blistering lap times these last 32 laps, I don't think the win's in the cards for him right now. But this fight right now between Tennell and Taylor seems to be for the win. Now coming to 30 to go this next time by. Yeah, so I know some of the drivers have probably been noticing this already, but we have been shortening the races just by a little bit. This race originally was scheduled for 170 laps, but as you can see, we're already an hour and a half in, and it's only lap 122, so we still have 50 more laps to go. That would probably be at least another 45 minutes, which starts to get a little too long for these races. So in order to just have a better racing product and make these races a little bit more enjoyable for these drivers, because once the races kind of get to a point where it's been too long, these drivers just we're down down to 150 for tonight. Martinsville is definitely not going to be scheduled like next week. So we're going to schedule for 304 laps. It's way too much, so we're gonna change that and a little shorter as well as the rest of the season. Right now, the battle between Kennel and Taylor is still pretty close. Only 2/10 separate these cars. Dolly has fallen off the pace. He's 3.5 seconds back. You see him there. I think that's exactly. Had a bit of a wobble there at a turn two. Get together, back up, keep going. The last thing these guys want right now is yellow. The one thing that the 8 car of Jason Thomas right now, though, wants is yellow. The leaders are slowly catching up to the back of him. He's hoping he can get a yellow before that.
He's destroyed.
Happens. If not, before they lap somebody else, so he can be the lucky dog. He just got loose there. No, now he spun it, and the car is destroyed. That's a big, big wreck, and the yellow's going to be out. That kind of feels like a commentator's curse, and if that's the case, Jason, I am sorry. That is not the yellow he was probably hoping for. That's likely the end of his race. That does actually bode well for the 54 Brian Tennell. Brought back up to these guys. Everybody's going to.
Can we get a wave around?
Brian Tennell stayed out. So did the 18 of White. That's Zachary B getting the lucky dog. Now only be 1 lap down. He's going to hope for 1 more yellow. Nine of Matthew Taylor is going to beat the 51 and 10 on that pit road. Going to put him up in 3rd. Brian White is your leader with Brian Tennell 2. Lap cars in between them. If they're going to be forced to let lap cars by, as that's what Thompson is doing. Now coming to 1 to green. Bowman probably going to have to let it go by. I think they're going to start passing him. He's 7 left. See if Brian White or Brian Tenold is able to get the jump on this restart. Brian's front row, and then Matthew Taylor and Andrew Tenold, who have been fighting for the lead for most of this race, right behind them, wanting to get in the action, trying to take them. Again, 4 playoff drivers in the top 4, so let's see how this goes. We get to the restart zone now. Brian White gets the jump. Matthew Taylor was lined up a little bit better as he gets the bump from the 54. They're now 3 wide into 1 behind. Dolly on the inside, Tenold on the outside. Matthew Taylor is in between, sandwiched, and the big wreck. Oh no! Saw that coming, I guess. That's really bad. It looks like hard chase. 54, Brian Tenold gets into the wall. Looked like a little bit of contact there between him and Tenold, or Tenold tried to avoid hitting him. Tenold didn't actually make contact with the 9. The contact between the 9 is him and the 74. But at this point, there's nowhere for Matthew to go. Just stuck in between them. Andrew was coming down to avoid the 54. Matthew was also trying not to get involved in that. And, Dolly just was right there. Sliding up maybe a little bit on the corner exit, but that's just kind of the way the corner arcs. Heavy damage for guys. Ryan White, I think, may have been the only car that got out of that clean. Ollie looks to be, some nose damage from him. He had to tow. That might be his race done. Leave Matthew Taylor. We were talking about it earlier. Doesn't look to have too much damage, but I believe his fast repair is still there. He's already out, so he's still in this race. Double check. We'll take a look. Wheel. There it is. The wheel is straight. He's still in this. Yep, looks like Brian Tenold, Zachary Beekman, both out of the race after that incident. We saw Jason Thomas. He also wrecked out earlier. Got loose on the exit of 4 and just couldn't hang on. Brian White still your leader. Jonathan Dolly in second. Tenold and Taylor. The same, almost the same lineup as the last restart, but replace Brian Tenold with Jonathan Dolly. 20 laps now to go. We're now 1 to go. Only 5 cars left in this one. Six cars. been a tough one here in Vegas. As the pace car comes off now, it's Brian White, your leader, takes the jump on the start. Really good start for him. Really good start for Matthew Taylor. Also, he's going to get by Jonathan Dolly up into second place. Andrew Tenold still has some damage. It doesn't look like so now the one's going to be between these three drivers, Jonathan Dolly, damage, suffering. But now the race between these three drivers, as they're now 3 wide already. Brian White looks like he may be backing out. Taylor and Tenold, really tight racing here through 1 and 2. Tenold beat him on the outside. Tenold down the leader. On the outside line, looks like he was able to find it right up bumper of Tenold, waiting for him to make a mistake. He's looking for a lane.
What happened?
Trying to stay out of the dirty air, hopefully get a run. Now 15 to go. Dives it down on the bottom. He's going to be there. Side by side with Tenold. Running a little high. They're still side by side.
50 lane. Which lane you want?
Very tight racing between these two.
I'll stay low.
Oh, tight racing there. The 62 of Benjamin Bowman. They're able to get by clean. Bowman really slow on the track.
All good. Just want to make sure I wasn't in your way.
Tenold able to get by for now, but the 9 is still right there. Now the 30 at Cobbs is another lap car in the way. Taylor now looks again to the inside. Hollywood up on the high side. He's going to go a lap down. He's suffering from heavy damage. Taylor looking to see if he can squeeze the nose in on the inside. Tenold gets loose. Taylor's going to get alongside on the outside lane. Give that lap to Taylor. Tenold dives it back down on the inside. He's going to get clear Taylor on the corner exit. Taylor is going to have the speed. Taylor elects to stay behind for now. Waiting for that opportunity. Right up the bumper at Tenold. Going to take the air off of his rear wing. 9 laps to go now. We are in 10 to go range. Taylor now dives it back down again on the inside, side by side with the 51 Tenold. Tenold Gonna have to run off the corner, but the 9 trying to side draft a little bit maybe here. He's gonna stay alongside the 51 into turn 3. 51 now trying to side draft 9. They're still side by side out of 4. Give that lap to the 51 as he clears the 9. Matthew Taylor looking for any line he can find to help him get around that 51. That 51 historically has played some pretty good defense on these closing laps, as we saw at Watkins Glen. Oh, the 9 got loose. The 9 is spinning. Goes out. He keeps it off the wall. Lucky break for the 9. That could have gotten really bad for him really fast. Able to save it. And that gave me, what was that? Jimmy Johnson at was it Bristol or Dover? I think it was Dover, where he's spinning right there by the wall and able to just barely keep it out of the wall, as you saw Matthew Taylor just do there. What track that was? I, for some reason, cannot remember it. That was Dover in 2006. Jimmy Johnson barely kept it out of the wall. You saw a little bit of that today here with Matthew Taylor, just keeping it off the inside wall there, able to avoid any serious damage. His tires are not going to like that, though. May cause some trouble for him as he tries to get by the 51 here, and now 18 to 74 now have a chance to get back into this race. But we saw that they did fall off pace pretty bad, as the 74 still got damage, might not have a shot here. The 18, we'll see. He didn't really have the speed there on that last run. Not sure if he was trying to save or not, but we're about to find out on this last restart. What may be the last restart of the race. Could very well go into green-white checkered territory here. The drivers will have 3 attempts. In the very last attempt, no, there will be no yellows. None of that. Here now, get ready to go green again. Pace car is now off. Sorry, no, it's not. We're on the backstretch. Find me. Post race chat in super early. I'm sure that there's going to be discussions going on. Pace car now for real comes off, and we're about to go green. Andrew Tennell will lead us Matthew Taylor in second. Good push there from the 18 of Brian White. Matthew Taylor going to try hanging around the outside there. As Brian White looks to steal second place. Not going to be able to do it though. Matthew Taylor going to hang around on the outside. Matthew Taylor looking pretty quick here. Now goes to chase down Tenold. Now 3 laps to go. See if Matthew Taylor has what he needs to get by this 51 here. Laps to go. Matthew Taylor right up the back of Tenold. Just like we saw on this last run for the yellow. Taylor maybe getting loose again. Having trouble hanging on. He's got real loose there. Turn 2, now turn 3. Coming to the white flag. And Tenold has shown speed all weekend. And going to be the best start he could have hoped for in the chase. He is far back in, I believe, 9th place. It's going to take a lot for him to come back and win this championship. But Andrew Tenold, out of 4, is going to be your winner this week for his 3rd win of the season at Vegas. Really, really good run from Tenold tonight. Able to get his 3rd win of the season. The only driver with multiple wins on the season. Secured win number 3 tonight. Going to really help him out in the chase standings. Matthew Taylor able to secure P2. Andrew Tenold also stage winner tonight, so really going to help him in the points. I think he's earned maximum points this weekend. We'll see how that shakes up the standings going into next week at Martinsville. Matthew Taylor, I believe with his performance and his 10-point lead, will be able to hold on to the lead of the point standings for tonight's race. So we'll see how that goes. But we are going to bring in our P3 finisher tonight, Brian White. That was a very hectic race from start to finish. A lot of the time, it seemed like you guys were having to race the track more than each other at times, and saw a lot of guys get out of shape through these corners, man. Looked like you guys really, really sliding around there.
Oh yeah, it was an ice skating time and a half. I'll tell you what, more slippery there than when I was on the actual ice last Friday.
Yeah, man. It was a 84-degree day in October, which is really, I mean, that's terrible weather. I would never want to be in Vegas at this time of year. But
Track temp 88. That's
it's SDK was telling us 94 degrees, but man, that's still that track just felt like it had no grip. Even once you guys started putting rubber down, the practice track stayed at like 20. I think it was 20% for the session carried over.